Welcome back to what we think is build day 15. Today we're working on the tongue and groove ceiling. So last week I went ahead and installed all the pre-wiring for the electrical. We did that ahead of time just because we're going to be running the puck lights for the ceiling we're installing, so that'll make it easier for us to do along the way.
We ended up picking up these cedar tongue and groove boards from Home Depot, and we decided to paint the interior of the van in eggshell cotton white. I ended up doing 3 coats of paint, and it seems to cover it pretty well so you don't really see any of the grain or knots.
The easiest way we found to start was to line up the first board with the center of the fan in the middle of the roof, as well as the center of the back of the van, and work outwards from there. If you're installing a ceiling in a Ford Transit, keep in mind this ceiling curves a bit. This might not be an issue for other vans. I mention this because as you work your way out from the center, the tongue and groove boards get harder to install, so you may need a hand fitting them into place. Here I'm drilling out the holes for the puck lights so we can finish installing and wiring those before finishing the rest of the ceiling. Here we're also installing split loom on the wiring to prevent the coating of the wiring from wearing down over time with vibrations in the van. We also have to run more wiring between each of the lights above the ceiling to connect all of them in a daisy chain. Here we're stripping the insulation off each of the wires in order to connect the lights and the wiring together using lever nuts. The lever nuts we're using have 3 ports, 2 of which are used to daisy chain the lights together, and the third is used to run out to power the light itself. Once all the wiring's done, tuck the wiring back up through the hole in the ceiling and fit the light into place. Moving back to the ceiling, it's also important to note to stagger where you start and stop your boards as you're installing the ceiling. This will keep you from having a hard line across the center of the van once you're finished with the install.
Alright, and now we're back for day 2 of the ceiling install. Some of the boards were a little warped, so we had to apply a lot of pressure in order to nail them into place. And now we're just finishing up puttying and sanding all the nail holes so that we can paint and finish off this project.
Want me to take over for a minute? Should we take the lights out when we paint? Just let them hang a little bit so we don't hit them by accident?
Oh, just be careful. I'm not gonna keep right up to the lights.
I mean, I might.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
Speed.
Speed? Slow your ass down. Thought you said we were gonna go slow.
We got time to go slow. Installing the frame to the vent fan finally finishes off this project.
Great job.
So yeah, the ceiling's finished. The ceiling took us 1.5 working days, so 8 hours one day, 4 hours another day. Not too bad. some weird cutouts around the foam blobs up front, but for the most part it all went in pretty smooth. The tongue and groove's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Just take your time with that. Some of the tongues and grooves splits. We used the cedar tongue and groove 1/4 inch stuff from Home Depot. Went in super easy for the most part, besides some of the headache stuff. But it was thin enough to where it bent to the front well. Went in pretty good. We used 15 mil brad nails to attach it to the furring strips across the ceiling. So yeah, the ceiling project wasn't bad.
How was the wiring for you?
Wiring wasn't terrible. I'm not super familiar with electrical stuff. Had more of a mechanical background. Pre-wiring's easy enough, just making sure you have everything laid out where you want it to go. Run the wires, take your time to make sure you have the conduit on. Anywhere it's going to rub against anything, just for that extra protection. And then yeah, as we were putting the ceiling in, we wired up the lights and the max air fan as well. We just used lever nuts for that, stripped the wire back. That's pretty straightforward, wasn't too complicated. After you get the first one down, they all go pretty easy. So yeah. We'll see you next time.
Bye.